Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some Pittsburgh Steelers preview and prediction of this Thursday night Week 14 game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Minnesota Vikings. Got to keep this video ultra short and kind of focus on the main points for tonight's game, starting with the Vikings offense. And obviously, I want to see what happens with Dalvin Cook. As of this recording here on Thursday morning, it appears that Cook is on track to play, which is a big surprise after the injury. But regardless, stopping that run game, of course, is going to be key. You want to see guys like Montrevious Adams, who had a really strong debut, be able to carry that over. Just overall, the Vikings offense has been incredibly efficient overall. They don't turn the football over, only 9 turnovers the entire season. That's fewest in the NFL. Kirk Cousins only 3 interceptions all season long, 1 interception over his last 7 games. What I expect Pittsburgh to do in this one is obviously they want to stop the run and they want to take away and bracket Justin Jefferson, the Vikings' top receiver. And that should be easier to do, especially with Adam Thielen, their number two receiver, being out with a high ankle sprain. So for Minnesota, they're gonna have to rely on other guys like tight end Tyler Conklin, like receiver KJ Osborne, like the run game, of course, and whoever else they have, D.D. Westbrook, for example. And so how well does Pittsburgh match up against the other guys not named Justin Jefferson? I think will be really interesting in this one. For example, the Green Bay game. Pittsburgh took away Devontae Adams in that one, but they lost out to Randall Cobb, who got some one-on-one matchups and had 2 touchdowns in that game. So those are the things I'll be looking at. Will Pittsburgh blitz as much as it did against the Ravens? I don't anticipate them doing so, but it was fairly effective against Baltimore. So it'll be interesting to see what this team's approach is in terms of attacking Kirk Cousins. For the Steelers offense, you want to see this ground game get going, kind of carry over where it left off against the Ravens in the fourth quarter. Hopefully, you see more pistol. I think that was an effective component, the way that we outlined on a video yesterday on the channel. While the Vikings do have a really poor run defense, 31st in football, only Pittsburgh has been worse. They have some interior guys who are pretty big pluggers, and Michael Pierce, a former Raven, and Dalvin Tomlinson, a former high pick of the Giants. And so, will Pittsburgh be able to get an interior push when they have guys like, John LeGlue again needs to carry over what he did in his NFL debut against the Ravens at Kendrick Green. I think that interior offensive line for Pittsburgh is going to be really important in terms of getting a push up front and not getting kind of stalemated at the line of scrimmage, which is certainly possible, as it was in the Bears game when Goldman and Hicks were really controlling the line of scrimmage. So hopefully you see some more perimeter runs, maybe some more tosses, but the linebackers for Minnesota are athletic, and Anthony Barr and Eric Kendrick. So the run game scheme I think will be really crucial in this one. And then just how you handle some of the blitzes. The Vikings are missing some of their top pass rushers, Everson Griffin, Daniel Hunter. They get pass rush juice from a lot of sources. Eric Kendricks has 4 sacks this season. They get it from some of their DBs occasionally, corners and safeties who can come and blitz. And so Mike Zimmer, likes to, as he did in Cincinnati, kind of put linebackers in A gaps and really stress protections. They don't blitz a lot overall, about 25% of the time, middle of the pack type number, similar to Pittsburgh. But whenever you don't have, Griffin and Hunter, will that compel you to blitz some more? That'll be interesting to see, how the Vikings approach things in terms of their pass rush plan. Last thing to note here, special teams. Obviously, want to see the punter kind of rematch, Jordan Berry versus Presley Harvin in the third, and then the kick return game for Minnesota. They got a rookie back there who's got 2 kick return touchdowns this season on just 10 attempts, and also has a punt fake this year. He's a wing on the punt team. They handed the ball off to him for a successful fake punt earlier in the season. So if you're Boswell booted out of the end zone every single time, and I think you want to be more safe in terms of your punt rush to be aware and alert for some of those fakes. So, for my prediction, which has been notoriously wrong, so take this with infinite grains of salt here, and you may not like this one because I'm picking the Steelers in this one, 21-17. I just think defensively, Pittsburgh's game plan, being able to successfully bracket and take away top weapons, which they've done to their credit all season long, whether that was Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, etc., is going to force the Vikings to kind of play left-handed, to go to Plan B, Plan C, and especially without Adam Thielen, I think it's going to really hinder them. I think Pittsburgh's run defense has improved enough, and will be able to contain the Vikings ground game, even if and assuming that Dalvin Cook plays. I think the Steelers offense is getting on track, getting some momentum, not turning the football over too terribly much themselves, and they just seem to play well in those primetime moments on a short week when the chips are kind of down. So obviously, it would be critical to get a win here to really build off the Ravens game. If you beat the Ravens, lose to the Vikings, you really have that sour taste in your mouth for the 10 days until you play the Titans. So big game for sure. Not quite as big as it was last week. Don't call it must win, but certainly pretty close. And so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know your score prediction in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll talk to you soon.